I'm Coach Pratt, and I've led my FTC teams to win big at the Netherlands National Regions, having taken home the Inspire Award and the Winning Alliance Captain. Today we're talking all about compliant wheels, compliant mechanisms, and how you can use an active intake to be able to pick objects up off the ground and bring them up into your robot. The one thing I want you to keep in mind with this video is that it is a seed idea. It is not a fully flushed out idea. Here I've got a really simple mechanism. I have two servos. Each servo is simply connected to a servo horn and then a compliant wheel. And then in the back, I just have a solid backing plate to do this. Realistically, the main money of this system is these two wheels though. The idea is that both these wheels will spin together, and as they spin together, they should be able to grab any object that comes inside. You should be able to stop them, and they should be able to push the object back out if need be. One of the great things about this system is that it uses something called a compliant wheel or compliant mechanism. And effectively what a compliant mechanism is it basically means that you've got something that has a little bit of give to it. So these wheels are kind of squishy. Yeah, these are a Go Build a Gecko wheel. And having that little bit of squishiness or that little bit of compliance allows you to mold around objects and get a little bit of extra pressure. So for example, I've designed this system to fit around the Pixel from the 2023-24 FTC season, so that when this drives in, you can see that it squishes the wheels a little bit and it gives it a really nice firm hold. So if I take this thing and I shake it around, that Pixel is being held very, very firmly. Now there's no reason that you need to have a back plate in here. I'm using a back plate for this purpose just to stop this, so that I can then eject it back out another way. But it doesn't mean that you need to have a backplate on this. I'm just using this. Perhaps you could take this and move it into another bucket if you wanted to. So all I've got programmed here is really simple. When I flick it one way, they spin backwards. You'll be able to draw it in. And when I flick it the other way, it spins out. So if I were to go into my intake mode here, I should be able to move this along the floor, grab my part, and then eject it back out if I want to. Let's try that a few more times. And you can see that I actually get, as long as I don't pick myself up off the floor here, a pretty reliable system being able to pick this up, and provided that I stop it in time. You might have some sort of pressure sensor on here. When it's pushed against here, it stops. Anything like that. It's actually a pretty reliable system to pick these up. Some other things you might want to consider trying with this is getting rid of this backplate and feed it into a bucket. You may have a few of these put together. You may have them connected together on a gear. This is obviously a huge mechanism. It doesn't need to be this size. You could also try taking these wheels and rotating them so they pivot 90 degrees. So now they're grabbing from the top instead of just grabbing from the bottom. There's lots of things you can do with compliant mechanisms to be able to make them work better. This is just a nice seed idea or start that you can take and build off of for your next project or for your next intake. So best of luck in your next robot, and I hope that helps you with coming up with some more ideas for your FTC robot.